Alright, so it's time for a little bit of Noldor Tournament action in the beginning of this episode. Welcome back to Prophecy of Pendor, Reformers, and we are going to be doing this, and then we will be going and checking on the Ravenstern. I've actually been doing a little bit of progression off screen because, well, when you've seen one siege in Warband, you've generally seen quite a few of them, and I thought to myself, okay, you know what, we're just gonna kind of speed things up just that little bit, and so I took about 3 castles by myself, and luckily the Kingdom of Sarlian seems to actually be doing something themselves, and they actually took one by themselves, just you know, with the vassals, and that's pretty fantastic, isn't it? Yeah, pretty fantastic. Anyway, we are going to be attacking and seeing what I can do against the Noldor. It's been a long time since we've actually done a proper tournament. And while this is a Noldor tournament, so technically not a proper one, it is still going to be, in my opinion, really fun. I always find tournaments pretty fun, especially when I'm playing a character that's actually decent at combat, you know, because right now we're pretty good, you know, we've got a good amount of archery proficiency, and I forgot to bet on myself. That's very good. Oh well, never mind. I don't really need the money. So yeah, I mean, the main reason why we're doing this, after all, is literally for the Qualis Gem. So hopefully we will be able to get that, and I've got to kill the blue guy as well. No smurfs allowed, thank you very much. And we are also going to see if I can maybe prevent my guy from dying. Nope, never mind. Okay, so there's actually someone over there. I probably want to shoot them. Killing the horse, not really a big fan of that. Oh no. Okay, shoot the legs. No, that's not going to work. All right. Well, let's do this then. Ooh, this is problematic, isn't it? This is very problematic. Okay, hello. Let's see if we can do some damage. Yes, I'm actually kind of surprised that the Noldor are missing so much. This is very strange. Not entirely sure what's going on there, but, well, I'm thankful that they are, let's just say that. And I'm hopeful that we will get a Qualis Gem from this, because that will then enable me to create 2 more Knighthood Orders, or if I want to go for some rune weapons, but, yeah, rune weapons... As I've said, there are good sides and bad sides to that, so I'm not entirely sure whether we will go for something like it, but as it stands right now, I'm pretty happy with our current setup, so maybe not. Yeah, we are... What color are we? Oh, we're green. Ah, okay. We're green, so I probably want to do some damage to help these guys out. Yes, 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 there we go. It's been a while since I've gotten some headshots. There we go. That's pretty nice. Okay, so we actually won that pretty easily. And let's go through to the next one. Ooh, we're actually on a mount. Yes, give me this. Very nice indeed. Stay on the right side and do some damage. And got to be a bit careful here, because if they switch to melee, they can do some pretty devastating damage. Oh, I am up against Lethal Diran himself. That might be a bit difficult. Or not. I mean, it really depends. Maybe we can... Yes, just stagger him a little bit, do some damage with the horse, and there we go. Nice. Alright, so, there we go. Penultimate round, let's do this. 2 teams with 1 fighter each. This is a 1 versus 1. I'm going to go for the headshot. Wow, still alive. Still alive. There we go. Alright, not too bad. Now, I must mention, this is probably going to be... I wouldn't say probably, but, you know, it's getting very close to being the end of the series if I actually end with Sarlian taking over the entire map. If I don't end with that, then there's much more to do, but we'll see. Maybe there's going to be a little bit of a break in between, and we'll see how it goes from there. But anyway, the point is that we have the final round here, and I wanted to kind of do one last Noldor tournament. Whoa, that hurt. That hurt a lot. Let's try and not die, shall we? Yes, 68 damage. That was insane. Okay, now, if I can maybe do a little bit more. There we go. Wow, that was a Noldor Twilight Knight. No wonder they were going to be super damaging right there. Okay, so what did I get? Armor pieces from the Noldor Council. Right, well, I actually don't mind about this. I mean, they're fantastic, you know. I mean, they're really good, you know. They're really, really good pieces of armor. But they are not going to be something that I will be using, obviously, because I already have much better gear. So we'll just be leaving it at that. Now, as you can see, I'm just running around with 10 people. I'm literally just running around with 10 people because there's nothing really here that will attack me. And this is what's gone on. This is what's gone on. So I basically took Falcon Dark Castle by myself. I took Talon Crag, Silver Edge, and then amusingly, the Vassals of Sarlian took Misthorn Keep, literally just about not too long ago. And I thought in this episode, we're going to try and take Ravenstern. It also seems like a number of these castles are actually coming under siege multiple times, but they are being chased away by, I suppose, vassals in the area. But anyway, yeah, we're going to continue on here. As you can see, or maybe as you cannot see, because the contrast is a little bit weird in this little box here, but yeah, there are many vassals in Ravenstern's garrison itself. And I think, actually, before we get in here, I just want to show you my army, I guess, my army setup. So basically I'm just taking the bulk of the army are obviously Earls of Grey, and then we have some biscuits here. I only have 8, actually. I only have 8 biscuits, which is a bit of a shame because I actually can't remember how to make those, and well, generally they are much worse than the Earls of Grey, so there's basically no point in making them anyway. But the point is, you know, I don't have many of them, that's for sure. But I actually wanted to answer a question. Actually, someone asked in the comments how I gained so many Inquisitor units, and the answer is I have no idea. I think I probably just rescued them. I just rescued a, shall we say, lower tier of the Inquisitor upgrade path, and then I just upgraded them into Inquisitors because I think they upgrade from. I'll show you. I'll show you after this. I think you already know what I'm talking about, but the point is that that's the reason, and that's how I actually gained those units. Trust me, I did not find a way to recruit them, even though they are pretty awesome in my opinion. I think they're pretty cool. And actually, someone told me on Twitter actually that they are really loving. What is it now? Maiden Adventurers, I think. Maiden Adventurers. And I've always been a huge fan of the Maiden upgrade path. Personally, I feel like the Maiden upgrade path is absolutely fantastic. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell everyone to hold position outside here, because this is going to result in way too many deaths. Can you get out, please? Can you just... Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so what we're going to do then is we're going to tell them to charge in now, because now we have the advantage, we have the bottleneck on our side, and that is going to mean everything. So let's just try and do that. Yeah, that seems to be working much better, as you can see. But yeah, someone actually said on Twitter that they really like the Maiden Adventurers, and I don't blame you. I love them too. I think they're fantastic. I think, I haven't actually compared them, but I think Maiden Adventurers might even be better than Hero Adventurers, but I think it might just be a change of equipment more than a change of stats. I'm not entirely sure about that. I haven't actually done the investigating or anything like that. I don't actually know whether they are significantly better stat-wise or anything like that, but I just know that Maiden Cavalry has always served me very well in a variety of different situations. You know, sieges, field battles, you name it, they're basically really good. And obviously Maiden Adventurers, I believe, come with those fantastic Maiden crossbows, so they're going to be able to, you know, shoot on horseback, and they're really accurate and everything, so I 100% get with you on that is for sure. Anyway, the point is, this is actually kind of a weird situation. Wow, there's so many enemies. There are so many enemies in this particular sally out of theirs. I'm actually kind of surprised. I would not have expected them to be so incredibly aggressive and place so many units at the forefront of this particular battle. I'm going to tell my people to charge in again. Can you just charge in, please? Thank you very much. Did not want you to hold position there. Oh well, never mind. Now, I did try to get as many units as possible in here, and I mean, I'm talking about my army itself. I did try to get as many high-tier units as possible. Obviously, it's a bit difficult because I don't really want to use Noldor units. I know that seems a bit weird, because why would I not want to use Noldor units? Well, the main reason for that is because I don't really want to get them killed, if that makes sense, because in general, I want them to be defending my fiefs, because they are just so good. I mean, custom knighthood order units, let me just say, they're probably about the same, if not better, than the Noldor, so obviously there's a bit of... there's maybe a bit of favoritism there on my part, because I actually really love our custom knighthood order units. I think they're really awesome, and I like using them. I like seeing our custom units, you know, the ones that we have selected the gear of, and we know exactly what they are all about. And you can see, I mean, you can see exactly what I'm talking about here. I mean, look at these guys. They're running around with Kraken shields, Doom maces, Noldor bows, and that the little feathery helmet as well, which kind of gives them a bit of uniqueness, in my opinion, because I don't think I've seen too many units with that, and I think that's really cool. And obviously you have the biscuits, and they have that red hood, and you can see the red hood from such a far distance away that you know that that's a biscuit. You know that's a biscuit, and you know that that's definitely going to be a pretty beastly unit. Anyway, there you go. 238 enemies were eliminated right there, and we barely lost anything. All right, let's head in. Okay, so this is going to be a bit of a change here, because I'm actually unsure how the layout is without them, you know, sallying out and attempting to meet us on the battlefield outside. So it's a bit strange, but I guess we're just going to put everyone there, put my archers a little bit ahead, because obviously we do have cavalry as well. And I have, as you may have seen, just before we headed into the siege, I did re-tag my Earls of Grey, so they're no longer cavalry and they're actually archers now, so it's a little bit easier for me to kind of get them into a decent enough position, because otherwise it's just a huge long line, he says, as there's a huge long line. Yes, great, isn't it? Okay, well, I suppose the best thing that I can do is tell everyone to charge in, and that is it. And then we'll see what we can do here. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna have to try and absorb as much arrows, you know, as many arrows as possible. We will hopefully be able to try and distract a couple of people as our Earls of Grey come in here, because these guys are going to absolutely massacre everything in sight, and that's exactly what we want them to do. So hopefully we'll be able to do that, and then we can tell them to actually charge the ladders. Does that left ladder actually work? I think it might. Is that a bit of a jaunty angle? Yeah, it does. Wow, that's actually kind of insane. Wow, pretty cool. Okay, thanks very much for putting a second ladder. That's all I can say, because you know me, I complain like no one's business when there's only one ladder, but it's really nice that there's a second one here. Anyway, let's see if I can maybe do some damage. Ooh, that's a Fyhrr Berserker right there. Whoa, that's a bit scary, but thankfully they don't usually have a lot of armor, so they're pretty easy to eliminate. And we've already eliminated 106. I don't really want to do the whole retreating thing, so I am actually going to see what I can do about heading in here. Oh no. Let me get my shield out again. Okay, so I'm going to do something a little bit different here. I'm basically going to go around to the side here. Going to try and attack them from behind, if at all possible. And then I'm going to maybe distract the enemy enough so that they might try to kill me instead of trying to kill my own unit. These guys are really good, you know. Ravenstern... I think I probably... Have I played with the Ravenstern at any point in any of my other Prophecy of Pendor series? Because I don't seem to remember that. So maybe that's a thing that definitely needs to be done. I think maybe once. But it was I think it was a pretty short series, if anything, because I think I was just doing a preview of the new version or something like that. But yeah, it would be pretty cool, actually, to play with the Ravenstern. As I get shot in the face by a Ravenstern Ranger. Oh well, yeah, that's just how it goes, isn't it? That is always how it goes for me, especially against the Ravenstern, because they are just so incredibly good with their bows. And we've eliminated about 200 right now. I think I might want to tell my people to retreat. Okay, I'll tell you what. First death of one of our units, and I will retreat at that point. Because at that point, I think it's probably going to start, you know, killing a whole bunch of our other people, so it would be nice to try and limit that as much as possible. And yeah, so I have, I think, played... What have I played as? I've played as the Empire. I've played with the Empire, shall we say, and I've played with the Fyhrr, and I've played with Sarlian, obviously, in this one, And have I played with the Deshar? I have not played with the Deshar. I think I have played... Oh, speaking of the Deshar, what's actually... what's actually going on here? Okay, seems like someone decided to declare war against the Kingdom of Sarlian and actually take something. That's kind of amusing. Anyway, point is, we've played with Fyhrr's Vain, Empire, and Sarlian. Have we played with the Deshar? I don't think we've... No, we haven't played with the Deshar at all, I don't think. And I think we may have played with the Ravenstern at a previous point. But I can't really remember that at the moment, so maybe that's something that we should do as well. But I think definitely the Deshar. So maybe that's an idea for something in the future. But at the moment, I'm pretty happy with how it's gone so far with Sarlian, because let's face it, we haven't really had the fortune to be with such an amazing liege. This liege has been so incredibly gracious, and well, not so much lately, because he's actually been giving a whole bunch of fiefs, not to me, but to other people. So that's kind of a bit of a shame. But the point is that when we first joined, and in general, their vassals are actually really friendly. They tend to help me out when I need assistance. They tend to be there whenever there's a significant enemy problem. And a lot of other factions have not been like that. So I personally don't think that's due to anything special, regarding Sarlian, because let's face it, Warband AI is all relatively similar. But it just kind of stands out to me, because when I played with the Empire, when I played with Fyhrr's Vain, they really didn't help me that much, and they tended to be much more passive in the way that they would act in the game, and they would actually, actively avoid battle, and they would not actually assist me as much as the Kingdom of Sarlian actually is. So that's kind of an interesting little factoid, I guess you could say, or an interesting little point there, because usually I don't get that much help. And that's the reason why I'm kind of like, oh yeah, Sarlian, very nice, thank you very much, because, usually when you join a faction, the faction is not going to help you at all. They're basically just going to kind of chill and do their own thing, and that's absolutely fine, because obviously they have their own lands and their own territory to look after and so on and so forth. But usually they kind of just ignore you for the most part, or they ignore the player, shall we say. And it's just kind of a nice little thing that Sarlian is actually much more helpful than usual. But maybe that's just me. Maybe I just haven't encountered as many situations where the other factions could have actually helped me out. So maybe that's it, maybe that's it. Because I know a lot of people have many, many different stories about Warband in general, and about these kinds of games where, someone in particular is going to come out of nowhere and help you out, and it's going to be really, really fun. And that's the reason why sandbox games in particular, and games that actually do get you to be, should we say, emotionally invested in a particular character or characters, or, a particular faction perhaps. And that's the reason why they're really strong. They're really strong. Very, very good. It's kind of like XCOM. XCOM, when you're playing with a whole bunch of people that you've named yourself, and you customize their looks, and you customize basically everything about them, their nickname, and what kind of class they are, and so on and so forth, that kind of thing, choosing all their skills and stuff. That really has a massive impact on how much you feel about that particular unit when they may potentially die. And that's the reason why, in this case, Sarlian is a pretty awesome ally, because they've been very, very, good to me, basically. They've given me the fiefs that I've wanted, with the exception of the past, 30 or so in-game days. They haven't really been too forthcoming with any of that stuff, unfortunately. But for the most part, yeah, they've been pretty great. So yeah, it's kind of nice. Anyway, we're going to get in here once again. I'm going to try and absorb as many arrows as possible, put my archers here and everyone else at the front, and I'm going to just try and absorb as much damage as possible. Because if these archers are shooting at me, then they're not shooting at my people that are attempting to shoot them. So it's kind of like, yo dog, I put some shoot in your shoot so you can shoot while you shoot. Yeah, that doesn't make sense, and I know, but, you know, you get my point. So let's see if I can maybe do a little bit of archery myself. Yeah, there we go. Take out that Ravenstern skirmisher. He's the most deadly unit available. Thank you very much, Beartild. And maybe we can shoot a couple of people up here. No, there's a shield. That's kind of annoying. Yeah, shields are kind of frustrating to deal with when you try and shoot, and obviously blocks it very easily indeed. Okay, so they're actually doing the same thing that they were doing beforehand, and I'm at a much better HP level this time around, so I'm actually going to go in here, being shot. Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to try and stay one-handed for the moment, because if I need my shield, then it's going to be very important. Okay, I've got to be careful here, because I don't want to take any additional damage. And these guys, even though they are Ravenstern, and Ravenstern are not necessarily known for being extremely good in melee with their archers, you know, they kind of have the Vy'jir syndrome, where, you know, Vy'jirs are generally not very good in melee with their archers. But Ravenstern, they do tend to surprise you in a pretty significant way sometimes. Like when I'm going into an archery nest, and then they all bring out their two-handeds or their swords and shields and so on, and they all, for some reason, are able to deal massive damage to me. It's probably because I'm overconfident against archers, that might be the reason, but, you know, that's the point. You can't underestimate any of the Ravenstern archers, because they can be very deadly at times. And I think this might be the final wave, but we'll see. There's a set of stairs back here, so I might make a little bit of a detour down here. And if any enemies decide to, you know, respawn down here or appear from the barracks, then we will be shooting them as soon as possible. It seems like there isn't, so I think we're pretty good. No, I think we're pretty good. I don't think there will be any more reinforcements coming in here, so that's going to be kind of nice. And ooh, hello there. There's a sneaky sneakerson over there. Yes, I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to do about that guy, but I guess what I'll do is just shoot a couple of people in the back. Oh, hello. Shooting a friendly troop. Okay, that kind of tells me I should not be shooting any more into that group. Yes, let's not try and kill my own units. There is going to be another guy over here, though. So we should probably hunt him down the best we can. Where is he? Where'd he go? Are you serious? Who's actually shooting me right now? I don't see anyone. Do you see anyone? I don't see it. Oh, never mind. They're dead. Okay. They were killed by the Earls of Grey without me even realizing it, and that's exactly why we have those guys around, because we have no idea that they're actually killing anything until it's all done. So it's pretty crazy. Okay, so now we have the opportunity to take these guys prisoner. Once again, I'm just going to be letting them all go because, well, there's probably going to be a final showdown at some point, and it's going to be kind of fun to see what we can do. And if we do create our new, well, our own faction, shall we say, then it would probably be a good idea to have as many people as possible coming to join us. Alright, so we have about 17 spaces, and what are we going to be taking here? I would like to be able to take some Salian Knights, if at all possible, but I don't think they have any of those, so I will just take some Mist Mountain Shaman, I guess, and then we'll just capture all of the prisoners, or as many prisoners as possible. Now, technically what I can do here is request that Ravenstern be awarded to us. It's not going to happen, so I'm actually just going to ask for no rewards, and so instead what I'm going to do is... I'm thinking I will leave it up to King Ulrich whether we will be defecting in the future. So what we're going to do is I will take these two castles right here, and then I will take Senderfall. I will request that be, that be awarded to us. We're going to do Senderfall's siege on screen, by the way. These two castles are going to be off screen, and then we'll take the last castle, and then we'll see whether he decides to give that to us. If he decides to give that to us, we will stay with Salian. And if he decides not to give it to us, then we will, well, defect, and we'll actually see how we do with the reverse invasion. But I don't know. I'm still a little bit on the fence about that, because we still have a Dashar down there that we need to destroy. Anyway, that will be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.